The Lafarge-Holcim Awards is the world's most significant competition for sustainable design. The awards program foregrounds projects and concepts from architecture, engineering, urban planning, materials science, construction technology, and related fields. The competition is conducted by the Lafarge-Holcim Foundation for Sustainable Construction. The foundation is an initiative of Lafarge-Holcim, the global leader in innovative and sustainable building solutions.
Holcim is at the forefront of sustainable building. Our foundation is a catalyst to amplify the best ideas in this area. We like to give a stage to the best and brightest minds in sustainable design and construction, to celebrate them and to accelerate their impact. And we have been doing this so since 2003. What I have learned during this time is that great ideas can come from anyone, anywhere on the planet. That's why I'm excited about the next generation of innovators, the students and young professionals who are disrupting the way we build and are reshaping how we live, from buildings and landscapes to the materials that we use. So please follow us to celebrate our next generation prize winners across the world. We are bringing them together as a global community, from the UK to Sierra Leone, from the US to Canada, and all the way from Indonesia to Argentina. I look forward to meeting with them and working together to create the built environment for tomorrow. With their fresh ideas, they keep us at the forefront of sustainable and innovative building solutions.
The Lafarge-Holcim Awards takes place across 5 regions: Europe, North America, Latin America, Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific. There is a competition category for projects at an advanced stage of design and with a high probability of execution, and a next generation category for the visions and bold ideas of young professionals and students up to 30 years of age. In 2020, nearly 5,000 submissions from more than 120 countries were entered in the awards competition, almost half of them in the next generation category. Around 2,000 entries passed the pre-appraisal screening and were evaluated region by independent juries of experts who then nominated the winners. Today, we are delighted to announce the best next generation projects in Middle East Africa. In this region, more than 40% of the submissions evaluated by the jury were entered in the next generation category. Mariam Kamara headed the jury of independent experts.
The quality of the entries for the next generation were quite good, actually. They showed a wide range of proposals, and it was really a wonderful window into, the youth of today, but also what, young people and students, currently in the Middle East and Africa are really preoccupied with. It was a wonderful way to see all of the different hopes and, just the optimism that is present, in the region currently, and to have a glimpse as to how the next generation is now dreaming their future. Because the award is focused on sustainability, obviously that was a component, but I would say that one theme that dominated in many of the proposals we saw was a very humanistic approach and a very humanistic focus in trying to really make proposals that thought about the future and that thought about present condition in a very thoughtful way, and try to figure out ways and put on the table propositions that were very thought-provoking and that really put the human at the center of the spaces, which I think is incredibly important in architecture.
In the next generation category, 4 prizes are awarded per region. The prize money allocated is $25,000 for the first prize winner, $20,000 for second, $15,000 for third, and $10,000 for the fourth prize winner. In addition to the prize money and a certificate, every winning team receives a personalized trophy featuring the modular, devised by the Swiss architect Le Corbusier. It is mounted on a block produced by LafargeHolcim, made of eco-packed low-carbon concrete containing sustaino-resource-saving cement. It showcases materials that enable circular flows and carbon-neutral construction. The prize winners will be announced in ascending order from 4th place up to 1st. Commentary on the projects will be provided by Marilyn Anderson. She is responding to questions from Edward Schwartz. Marilyn Anderson is a member of the board of the LafargeHolcim Foundation and heads its academic committee. She participated in all 5 regional awards juries. Edward Schwartz has been in charge of the LafargeHolcim Foundation for Sustainable Construction since it was established in 2003.
So Marilyn, did anything in particular stick out with the entries in the next generation for Middle East Africa?
I would say what was very striking in the Middle East Africa region, especially in the next generation entries, is how much sensitivity to the local context there was. A lot of awareness as well, and overall these entries dealt a lot with culture and local action, and the next generation ones were definitely not an exception.
So it wasn't mainly about construction per se, it was always looking at the broader context.
Yes, indeed, about the broader and social context, but also highly localized answers to that context. So it was still very local, but with ideas that can be considered universal.
So let's go and have a look at the winner of the 4th prize of this region, and this is going to take us to Iraq.
The Mesopotamian marshlands of Iraq are listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In order to preserve their natural and cultural value, one of the things that needs to be addressed is the lack of educational facilities. The project Earthen Education proposes a simple but highly functional school in the city of Basra. It includes classrooms, a library and music room, multifunctional auditoriums, and activity rooms. The buildings are constructed primarily from rammed earth, a local material. A small addition of cement provides greater stability. The hybrid material is affordable and durable. Parts of the walls are executed with woven reeds, which allow plenty of light and air to enter the building. Architecturally, the buildings are characterized by a series of modular vaults that reflect the arched forms of traditional Iraqi architecture. Earthen Education wins the LafargeHolcim Awards Next Generation 4th Prize 2020 Middle East Africa. The prize goes to Noor Marji, architect in Amman, Jordan. The awards jury praises this reinterpretation of Iraqi architecture for being in harmony with the cultural and geographic characteristics of the region. The chosen materials and methods of construction are clever and provide for both a comfortable atmosphere and a pleasant indoor climate.
We're seeing many projects made of rammed earth. Is there something like a renaissance of this building material?
In a way, we can say so, or we can also say that there is a renaissance of an interest in materials that have different types of qualities, including their low carbon footprint. In this case, we could also talk about a reinterpretation of the vernacular, and there is definitely an emergence of that kind of approaches in different projects.
And of course, it's also visually very attractive, it's vernacular. What else would you sort of say is compelling about this project?
I would say it's highly context sensitive. So it brings pedagogical projects there with a kind of a harmonious interpretation of construction, using this rammed earth as the basic material, but adding woven reeds, adding just what you need in terms of cement to make it more stable. So to try to incorporate small details that make it even more compelling while using mostly a local, traditional and poetic approach.
Thanks a lot. So with that, we'll move on to the 3rd place project. We'll go to Sierra Leone in Western Africa.
Plastic waste is one of the most pressing environmental problems in most parts of the world, including Crew Bay, an informal settlement in Freetown, Sierra Leone. The river that flows through the densely populated but poorly developed area carries an immense amount of waste out to sea. The project Plastic Extractor addresses this problem with a 3-stage low-tech intervention. First, the waste plastic is caught in a net that spans the river. Second, it is processed in a plant. The plastic is separated from other waste, sorted, shredded, heated to 200 degrees centigrade by solar concentrators, and then formed into objects like plastic building blocks. And third, the new plastic blocks are used in construction projects. Jobs are created in each of these 3 stages. The plastic processing plant is built of recycled plastic panels amongst other materials. The building includes a deck for visitors to observe plant operations. Plastic Extractor wins the Lafarge-Holcim Awards Next Generation 3rd Prize 2020 Middle East Africa. The prize goes to Evgeny Varligin, architect from St. Petersburg, Russia. The awards jury recognizes this creative proposal that combines social, economic and environmental benefits. The technological aspects are well thought out and carefully tailored to the specifics of the context. The architecture is convincing and a pressing environmental problem is addressed.
The idea behind this project is as simple as it is captivating and, of course, multipliable. What advice would you give to other young designers to seek implementation of ideas of this kind?
I would get inspired by such a project by thinking of taking a real problem, one that matters, and then solving it, but going beyond just solving it. So it's about making more than the solution. In this case, it was also about job creating, about leisure, and about bringing all of these together into this plastic recycling question.
And now if we just go back to this recycling, what contribution do you think the construction industry as such can contribute to solve this problem?
I think this project is actually a very good example of a true cycle through a project that has a lot of diversity of programs, of answers. And so here we can really see how the waste of plastic becomes the input, the material for a building, and also the opportunity to do these other activities. So I think the cycle that is going again beyond the just cycle of materials, but also a round of activities, I think is a very interesting inspiration.
So let's take a trip back to the Middle East to visit the Second Place project.
Cemeteries are often located in suburban parts of cities. But as the city grows, they become embedded within neighborhoods, taking up space that could be used otherwise. This is the case in Amman, where many of the cemeteries are also in poor condition. Living Memorial proposes underground cemeteries. Residents of the densely developed neighborhood can use the freed-up land for park or as a social space. Courtyards allow daylight to reach the lower level, where funerals are held and graves are located. The project includes a number of facilities: a hospice, a traditional community building, a devotional space, a library, and a community kitchen. Living Memorial wins the Lafarge-Holcim Awards Next Generation 2nd Prize 2020 Middle East Africa. The prize goes to Tala Shelbai, architect from Amman. The awards jury is intrigued by this bold proposal. It revolutionizes the architectural typology of the cemetery and gives it a remarkable social character. The project creates a new, almost poetic relationship between the living and the dead. Furthermore, it reduces land use.
This project seems revolutionary, or is it maybe even a bit too radical?
I think indeed that its radicality comes from the fact that it makes the place of the dead back a place for the living. And I think this transition is a really bold but important one, to reclaim space for life without losing anything about the respect for the dead.
Cemeteries are, of course, strongly intertwined with customs. So to what extent do you think that this project manages to live up to local heritage and customs?
I would say that it's one of its biggest challenges, actually. They are so, the death and how you either celebrated or accepted is so culturally ingrained that it will be or would be the challenge of this project. However, the mere fact of asking the question, of proposing a compelling project, aesthetically pleasing, respectful, actually integrated in the city, brings this to the discussion and therefore is already a very strong contribution to this problem.
Thank you, Marilyn. And with that, we get to the category winner of Middle East Africa. This takes us back to the African continent, to Uganda.
Kampala, the capital of Uganda, is highly fragmented, territorially, socially, and economically. The project Connective Infrastructure aims to bridge gaps in the Muyenga-Namuwongo neighborhood and overcome divisions between the affluent and the poor by creating new links and a network of public spaces. Bridges, jogging trails, a marketplace, a train station, urban gardens, and cultural and recreational facilities are designed to transform the district from a grey urban area into a green and social neighborhood. The local community will be involved in the implementation of the project. The network of pedestrian paths will be upgraded to include a drainage system to help control flooding. Connective Infrastructure wins the Lafarge Holcim Awards Next Generation First Prize 2020 Middle East Africa. The prize goes to Priscilla Namwanje, architect from Kampala. The awards jury praises the project's optimistic approach to transforming a highly fragmented district into an attractive environment. The project improves the infrastructure, strengthens the social cohesion of Kampala's residents, and can be easily transferred to other places.
This is indeed a very comprehensive project. How did the jury manage to evaluate this, because it's tied so much into a local context?
I think this is actually precisely what we liked in this project. The fact that it is able to make a link between an answer that is inherently urban, and so really answered at the urban scale, and a highly localized human scale answer as well. And so the link between the two was for us the strength of the project.
And that was also what made it really stand out from the others and get the first prize.
Indeed, as well as this very strong and deep awareness of how we live or how we want to live. And therefore this mixture of what we do and how is living kind of organized, and therefore get the cityscape into a human scale again with local intervention that altogether form a network that can make a better life.
Thank you very much, Marilyn. One of the goals of recognizing projects submitted by young professionals and students to the Next Generation Awards is, of course, to share ideas and to gain recognition. That's also the reason why we asked the main winner of this category what this prize means to her.
Winning the Lafarge Next Generation Prize is a vital step forward for me in my career as a young researcher in urbanism and architecture, because it offers me visibility, but more importantly is the validation that research is an instrument or tool that can be used to explore solutions to urban challenges in the African context.
So let's recap the results and look at the winners.
To learn more about the Lafarge Holcim Awards and its winners, check the website of the Lafarge Holcim Foundation. It offers the latest information and videos on all Next Generation category prize-winning projects from around the world. In addition, the renowned international architecture magazine AA, L'Architecture d'Aujourd'hui, has published a special issue on the latest Next Generation winners of the Lafarge Holcim Awards. You can download this issue for free from the website of the foundation. What happens next? The prize money will be transferred immediately, but the handover of the well-deserved prizes will take a little longer. The winners will receive their trophies and certificates at the International Lafarge-Holcim Next Generation Awards Lab next year. All winners of a Next Generation prize from the 5 regions will be invited to exchange experiences and to link into a growing network of experts in sustainability and design. At the same time, up to 3 recipients of a research and practice grant will be announced. The further development of their next generation prize-winning projects will be supported by the Lafarge-Holcim Foundation. The winners of the Global Lafarge-Holcim Awards 2021 will be announced by Hashim Sarkis mid-November at a special event as part of the International Venice Biennale of Architecture. Professor Sarkis is the curator of this year's exhibition and was the chair of the Global Awards jury.
It's very evident if you walk through this Biennale that sustainability is a very common theme. It actually cuts across almost all of the projects. And even though the exhibition is organized around 5 scales, we will be organizing the symposia and programs that will come in the 6 months around these themes that are cut across. And in November, mid-November, there will be a long weekend where we will come together to talk about the different dimensions of sustainability, from the ecological to the behavioral to the aesthetic, but we'll also be coming together to celebrate the Holcim Awards and organizing together an event for the awards, but also an intellectual platform for talking about the joint common ambitions of the award and the Biennale.
All winners in the main category from the 5 regions were qualified for this global competition. These regional awards and acknowledgement prize winners will also be announced and celebrated in Venice.
I would like to congratulate all of the prize winners for their magnificent projects and visions and thank them on behalf of the Lafarge-Holcim Foundation for their work and sharing their ideas.
So good luck to all the participants as you pursue your ideas, and we're looking very much forward to seeing you, hopefully in person next year at the Awards Lab.
Indeed, we hope so. Sustainable construction needs many new ideas and needs young professionals who want to think further and rethink how and with what we can build. So thank you all for your support in creating a more sustainable future.